Hello and welcome to another decorating video here on my DIY only island of Thistle. If you are new here, feel free to check out the description below for all of the details of the challenge. Today we are going to work on, or at least try to work on, a couple of different areas around the island. We have the cliff tops on either side of resident services, this small area here left over at the front of Nook's Cranny, and I was also thinking of putting a house here behind the Able sisters. Possibly Blue Bear's because her house is just in the way where it is, so I want to move it. But I don't know, we'll see how we go. First off, I'm going to start on the smaller cliff on the left. So I need to go get some trees, some bushes and flowers. I'm also just going to go and quickly shoot down this balloon. I don't care that I'm not getting the item that is inside of it. I just want to get to my 300 balloons because I need that golden slingshot.
I need it!
When I do a build, generally the first thing that I like to do is figure out where all of the trees are going to go. Especially if you're decorating on a cliff top where you don't really have as much room, so it can be tricky trying to figure out where everything is going to fit. I really wish Nintendo would let us put trees all the way to the edge of a cliff. It would make life so much easier. Once that is done, I don't always necessarily have a plan on what I'm going to do. I generally just wing it. If I really like where I have the trees placed, I generally try to just work around them. Unless I'm doing a very specific build that requires very specific things. However, the goal with this build is just to make the cliff top look really natural and feel full. It's not going to be accessible to anyone, so I don't need to worry about having any room for the villagers to be able to walk around. And for areas like this, I try to make sure that I have something on every single tile because that way I don't have weeds and flowers spawning where I don't want them to. Now, I'm not 100% sold on this cliff top. I mean, I think it looks nice, but I feel like it needs to be a bit bigger. I also feel like it's a little bit too close to the cliff top in front of it, so it makes it a bit hard to see what is actually up there. However, it's finished, so I'm going to move on to the next area. Now I'm going to be moving on to this little spot here at the front of Nook's Cranny. This didn't take me long at all. It only took me maybe about 10 to 15 minutes to get this done. At first I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Was I going to add more on from the vegetable patch? Should I make like a little picnic area? But I decided to extend on the teeny weeny river I have on the cliff top behind the Able sisters and extend that and make a little fishing area. You know, maybe after a long day at work at Nook's Cranny, this is where Timmy and Tommy like to come and hang out and catch some fish at night time. Who knows? I think it turned out really cute and it fills out the area nicely. Although I have just realised it doesn't actually have a fishing rod, so I'm going to need to go back and add that. Next up, I was going to work on the larger cliff top behind Nook's Cranny. I had this grand idea to make a spa build. I have been wanting to use the outdoor bath DIY for so long. So I was planning on making that the main focal point of the build. So I went and made a heap of DIYs using up a ton of my stone. And then I actually didn't end up doing it. It just didn't feel like it would fit here. I probably will do a build like that somewhere on the island, but just somewhere else. So if I wasn't going to be doing that, what am I going to do with this cliff top? At first I had a bit of a play around with the cliff because I wasn't really sure on the shape or the size of it. Should I change the edges? Is it too big? Is it too small? I had a lot of back and forth with myself. I really didn't know what I was doing. So after a while I decided to ditch that area for now and work on something else. I did have an idea that I wanted to make the cliff top bigger, so I needed to move Petri's house, who was just behind it. I ended up putting that behind the Able sisters where I was originally going to put Blue Bear because I thought maybe I might put her house on top of the cliff. Once I had done that, I obviously had to time travel to the next day, so I went around to gift my villagers and of course changed my outfit like 4 or 5 times. Now, I was going to move on to Petri's house, but this cliff top was bugging me so much. Sometimes when something's troubling me like this, I just have to keep at it, otherwise I can't really focus on anything else. I think at some point I had a plan to extend the cliff and have it wrap around Blue Bear's house. I don't know, I ended up just giving up on the whole thing because it was really getting on my nerves and I was so frustrated. I mean, the whole thing was just a constant loop of me putting up cliff tops and then knocking them down, putting up cliff tops and knocking them down because I just couldn't get it right. I did end up moving Blue Bear's house at some point, so I time travelled to the next day and decided to finally go and decorate Petri's house. Now, Petri's yard doesn't have very much room, so I have to admit I was a little bit stuck at first and, as usual, I didn't know what I was going to do. Am I the only one that plays this game not knowing what they're going to do 5 minutes from now? I feel like every single decorating video I do, I'm like, I'm just winging it. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I feel like when I plan something, I get in my head and then it doesn't really work out. Maybe that's why the cliff top hasn't worked out for me so far. I ended up putting in a small vegetable garden with some flowers and a few decorations, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now that Petri's house is done, I did decide to go back to the cliff top. Yes, I know I'm a glutton for punishment, but I was determined to get it finished. However, I am going to save you the pain of watching me achieve absolutely nothing because I've had enough and I give up. I give up with this cliff top. Nothing will work. I give up. So that is going to be all for today. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to, but that's okay. And yes, I was gifted another outfit from my villagers. I look amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.